Today we're coming to you from the beautiful MSC Seaview. We're on a 7-night Brazilian sailing. We sailed from Santos, visited Buzios, Maceió, and Salvador de Bahia. It's been quite a sailing.
It's been a great adventure, guys, up to this point. But what we want to do today is give you guys our opinion of the Seaview, this experience. Not critiquing the whole MSC line, just this particular sailing here in Brazil on the MSC Seaview. So, Adrian, so far, what are some of your takeaways?
Well, Robert, I want to say before we get there, we have sailed on MSC before. So on our first MSC sailing, we sailed on the seaside a few years ago, which is her sister ship. So again, as Robert said, we want to critique this particular ship and this particular sailing.
This was our first time cruising in Brazil. So the experience was new from the start. First we had to get a visa. That was a process that we did online before we left our home, and we was able to obtain the visas. Once we arrived, we flew into Sao Paulo. Once we got to Sao Paulo, we went to Santos, where the cruise would be departing from. That was about an hour and a half or a 2-hour drive from Sao Paulo. So when we got ready to board the Seaview in Santos, it's an industrial port. So it's not like the normal ports where we boarded at all our previous cruises. This is industrial. This is really industrial, guys. A working industrial port. So the process was different from the start. We went through like 4 or 5 different screenings, guys.
It was very thorough.
I mean, pat downs, metal detectors, very different. So we accepted that. Once we cleared MSC protocol, we were put on a bus in this industrial park to drive to where the ship was, because the ship was not near where we did the processing. It was quite a ways. And it was a, industrial area, so you didn't know where you're going, you do all that.
One of the challenges too is, of course, they speak Portuguese here.
Yes.
We do not, not very much. So trying to read the signs, some of them were in English.
Yeah.
So people were very friendly, very helpful, but very few of them spoke English. So we were at a bit of a disadvantage for us.
Yeah, and like I just said, the majority of people are Portuguese-speaking cruisers on this ship. And we dealt with that the best that we possibly can. But it has presented some difficulties. So, you can't read all the signs. Or when you're trying to order your drinks, trying to communicate what you want, how you want your drink, it can be quite difficult. So that was something that kind of hit us a little bit. We weren't quite ready for that.
Because we learned a few words.
Yeah.
Hello, goodbye, thank you, those kinds of things. So that we could say very clearly.
Yeah. And the people was patient. The people have been patient.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like, they was perturbed because we was English and we didn't understand, this, that, and the other. But they gave us attention, and they tried to meet us where we met them. So we had patience with them, they had patience with us, and we've been surviving.
And that has happened throughout the cruise because, of course, all the announcements and such are primarily in Portuguese. They'll do a long announcement in Portuguese, and then they'll translate to Spanish, and then a few words of English. But
so once we got on the ship, guys, and settled into it, the excursions have been fantastic.
Oh, phenomenal.
They've been fantastic. Everything off the ship has been great. Salvador, Bahia, I can't find words to even tell you about that, guys.
We'll be doing individual videos. Keep an eye on the channel, because we'll be doing a video for each of the ports that we visited.
Okay, now for the not so good. Let's talk about the actual happenings and the condition of the ship and the service on the ship, Adrian.
Okay, the ship is in decent condition. It's a pretty ship. Lots of pretty bars. You can see the beauty behind us. It's reasonably well maintained. Rob, what do you think about the maintenance?
I think the maintenance on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it about a 6, 6.5. We've heard several people complain about not having lights in the cabin. I've seen the plumbers going up and down the hall, so I know people are having plumbing problems as well. So, some of the aging defects is showing up on the ship. And I don't know when they plan to take it into dry dock. It's a beautiful ship. All the MSC ships are beautiful. But the working mechanics is where you see the drop-off. Is what I'm hearing from some of the people on board.
And let's talk about the cabin. We have a standard balcony cabin. It's a little narrow.
Yes.
And there isn't much storage space. Robert and I have been on almost 50 cruises, and we've cruised several lines. We're used to having a lot more storage space.
Very true.
Very few drawers, very few shelves. We've been living out of suitcases quite a bit this cruise.
Yeah, guys, that's been another adjustment because the storage space is just not there. So we got stuff, man, all under the bed and, you know, up on the shelf and, you know, in every little nook and cranny that we can possibly find. We've been putting stuff there. That's one takeaway. Now, anyone who is into cruising and follows the reports and reviews, you've heard about MSC and the food. That's not their strong suit from many people's opinions. Some people like it, but the majority of people that I have encountered don't like it.
In our opinion, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a good 5 and sometimes a 4.5.
Yeah, it's been about. Hey guys, the food has not been a highlight. And like I said, it's just this particular ship. You might go on any other MSC ship and you might have great food. But for us on this particular cruise, this sailing, the food has been at least, you know, a 4 minus, or I could almost be honest and say a 3.
It's a limited menu, even in the buffet.
Yes, it is.
Same things, and they're not that well prepared.
No, it ain't just the lack of variety, it's the preparation. You know, I mean, the chicken, tough, you know, the salad bars are not maintained the way we would think they should be as far as hygiene. You know, so I mean, we could just go really into detail on it, but I'm just telling you, to make a long story short, the food has been one of the biggest disappointments here. You don't see the housekeeping and the cleaning.
And before you get off the food, the maintenance, for example, in the buffet, they have a lovely Caesar salad and no Caesar dressing for the last 3 days. There's ice water with no ice.
None.
No ice in the dispenser. There's plenty of staff. If you ask someone, they look very surprised, like, oh, I wonder where the ice went. Yeah, I wonder where the ice went.
Yeah, and sister, I don't want to miss this. On all of the cruises that we've been on, there are dispensers in the buffet where you can get lemonade, you can get fruit punch, you know, soda. It's right there. You know, iced tea. Not here.
Water.
That is it.
Coffee and water.
They have the dispensers there, but they're empty. So none of the juice and sodas are in the dispensers. You know, so I don't know. I haven't asked anybody why it's not there, but it's not there.
And speaking of dispensers, there's hand sanitizer dispensers throughout the ship. Many of them have been empty.
Yeah, constantly.
So we've kept our own little bottle of hand sanitizer.
It seemed like the COVID protocols that have been put in place with other cruise lines missed this ship. It's not here. I mean, at all of the elevators where you have buttons that you touch to select your floor, they have dispensers there for hand sanitizer. All of them have been empty the entire cruise. When you enter into the buffet, they have one little sink for your hand washing station, and no one is enforcing it or encouraging people to wash their hands.
And sometimes it doesn't have soap either.
And no one, as far as wiping down, all the previous cruises we've been on, especially post-COVID, constantly wiping down the handrails, you know, service personnel, cleaning. We've seen that. Not here, you know. So it's some things missing that I'm a little uncomfortable with, you know, and I'm just giving you my honest opinion of it. And the staff here are not as energetic as you see on most ships. I don't know if they're tired. They're ending their summer run down here.
They've been here since November in doing the Brazil run.
This is the last run before they take the ship to Europe for the European season. So maybe a lot of them going to get off once we get back to Santos, you know, in 2 days, and they've had enough. They're bringing a new crew, but they sure not showing, you know, a lot of enthusiasm as far as their work attitude.
Now there is plenty of staff.
Yes.
They're impeccably dressed and they're here, but
it's just different. And I think one of the main reasons that it's so different here is because of the demographics. You know, I think they know who they're catering to. And don't let me forget this. This has a lot to do with it, guys, which is unlike any other cruise we've been on. Every port we stop, people get off and people get on. So you got people getting on for like 3 days, people getting on for 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, so people constantly getting on and off. So you don't get a smooth vibe on the ship. Because you got some people, it's their first day, it's your 4th day, and it's their first day. So you done got dressed for dinner and they come in a bathing suit from the swimming pool. You know, and please, don't bring no suits or nothing for formal night, because there ain't no such thing as a formal night on here. You dress up with the so-called...
They suggest an elegant night.
Yeah, but they suggest elegant night. I haven't seen one sport coat. I haven't seen one evening gown on this whole ship. And this is about 3,000 people on here. All you see, the majority, short pants you know, halter tops, bathing suit, because it's the weather, you know.
Yeah, it's been 80 degrees every day, so it is a very tropical beach pool type vacation.
Because with the weather and the humidity, you know, people is wearing as few clothes as they possibly can. On the excursions that we went on, guys, it was seriously hot and humid. And this is the beginning of fall. I can only imagine what it would be like if you came in January, you know, in December, when they're having the middle of their summer, you know. But anyway, a little bit off the track there. But you see, I got a lot of emotions about that. That's how I bring it. But anyway, all in all, Adrian, what do you think?
They do have some production shows pretty much every night. And the talent has been okay. Their shows are slightly different than what we've seen on other lines.
Yeah.
They are about 35-minute shows. So they're very compact. Some singers, some dancers. Again, the talent level compared to some of the other is not quite as high.
Yeah, and my feeling is this. When we started cruising many years ago, the entertainment then was way below Las Vegas and Broadway. Over the years, on the ships that we have cruised on, Celebrity Rockaroo, we've seen that gap narrow. We've seen entertainment become more like Las Vegas and more like Broadway. Well, it regressed on this one. The effort is there, it's just the talent level. They're just not recruiting people with that higher level of talent and skill, and it shows in the production. That's just the honest truth. It's just not there.
The choreography and the vocal talent. I have a degree in vocal music, so I know good singing, and it just isn't what it should be.
So as we get ready to wrap this up, MSC is MSC. It stands for Mediterranean Shipping Company, and they are a huge company. They're shipping cargo all over the world. The cruise, I believe, now, since they are entering into the American market with new ships, I think it's a difference there. But here in South America and probably some of the other distant foreign countries, you might not get the same experience that you'll get if you cruise MSC in the United States.
And which we are going to do in November. We're going to try cruising on the MSC World America. So we'll do another critique of that particular sailing and compare it to this. So be sure and keep an eye on the channel, because we'll be back talking about MSC in November.
You guys better know, because we're going to keep it real. Take care.
Thanks so much for visiting our YouTube channel.
If you like what you saw, please subscribe and hit that like button. We greatly appreciate it.